they're just healing up right now after battling some barbarians, if I remember correctly. And some scouts. I don't recall where they were headed, but maybe we can send them this way, sort of south. So it's still early days yet here, and we're just getting established. So let's continue. So we've got to send our scouts further into the unknown. Let's see what we can find. Oh, we got some workers. That's excellent. So we can send those workers to build a quarry on this marble here, or on this stone. Assuming we've researched mining, which I believe we have. Yeah, we have. I suppose it wouldn't be recommending that we construct a quarry here otherwise. So let's do that. That'll get us a luxury resource, which will in turn improve the happiness of our civilization. And since we finished building workers, it's time to produce something else. I like to produce a granary early on because it increases the growth rate of the city. We've got some Ethiopian scouts that are skirting our territory. Just checking it out. And our warriors in the east have almost healed up another turn or two. Let's keep exploring with our... Let's go this way with our scouts. And we've reached the ocean. Build a quarry here. Next turn. So, looks like we found the sea, which gives an idea of the size of our continent. No point in exploring east because the Ethiopian borders will stop us, so west it is. And we've met the city-state of Antwerp. They've given us a gift of 15 gold, which means we are not the first nation to have discovered them or to have met them. But it's better than nothing. They are a mercantile city-state, which helps boost the happiness of our empire if we're allied with them. But they're also hostile, which means they're more likely to be aggro and towards us and other city-states. And they've got some handy resources, horses, jewelry, gold. Next turn. Thebes has grown in population to a size 4 city now. And we'll continue poking around with our scouts. Looks like Antwerp is asking us to take out some barbarians, which we can do once our warriors have healed. Unless we want to keep sending them east, further east, although it looks like we might be reaching the coast here anyway. We'll give them one more turn to heal up, and then we'll send them over to fight the barbarians. Maybe we'll do a little swap with our scouts, send them to the east, get a little bit mad at me for ending my turn in their borders, but that's tough luck. They can deal. So, the warriors over here have healed up. Maybe we can do a little more exploration with them, just to finish off this corner of the continent before we send them over to fight barbarians. And we need to pick a new technology to research. Having finished archery, there are a lot of very useful technologies in the second tier. And what we choose kind of depends on what resources we've got nearby, what the political situation is. We are at peace right now. And I don't think we're going to be fighting Ethiopia anytime soon. So we can focus on economic development, resource development. We don't, we do. We've got spices nearby here, which requires calendar to be able to build a plantation and harvest them. So let us research calendar. Work towards gaining those spices. So like I said, Antwerp's gonna be a little upset that I'm trespassing, but that's okay. So I think we very nearly explored this bottom corner of the continent here. So our scouts have run out of things to scout down in the southwest corner of the map. However, we can send them north. It looks like there might be a little bit to see there. Or even better, we might be able to take out these barbarians that are threatening Malacca. It looks like it'll be close. We may not actually be able to take them out. And I kind of hope we don't, because if we had, we would have ended up in this tile and been attacked by these barbarians. So maybe that was a little bit hasty, sending our scouts into combat, but Malacca will be shooting at these guys next turn as well, so it looks like I might have been premature in my assessment down here, and there might be more continents to be explored than I originally anticipated. So our scouts ended up fighting those barbarians anyway, which did not go very well for them, as one might expect. So we're going to beat a hasty retreat towards Antwerp. And our intrepid warriors, who we were originally going to send into combat in the west, will instead continue exploring. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, we discovered some ancient ruins. Unfortunately, I expect the Ethiopian scouts are going to get to them before we do. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, let's take our workers and quarry the stone deposit nearby. The city of Thebes is demanding dyes, and unfortunately we don't have dyes nearby. Now it may be that one of these city but I don't see any being worked. Not by Ethiopia either. So, unfortunately, Thebes will have to go without dyes for the time being. Ragusa has requested that we help them out by taking out this barbarian encampment here, which we may very well do. There go the Ethiopians grabbing that ancient ruin, unfortunately. And the barbarians are being awfully aggressive here. They've taken a worker from Antwerp, it looks like. Now this puts us in an interesting situation. We could theoretically send our scouts up. Oh no, we can't. That's unfortunate. Not in one turn, we can't get them to the barbarian encampment. Because when you're next to, or you're moving next to a hostile unit, you can only move one space at a time. So this movement would actually take us 2 turns. Let's just move our scouts way the heck out here. Next turn they'll heal. Let's see what our warriors can do about that barbarian encampment that Ragusa once dealt with. The Ethiopians have requested to set up an embassy in our capital. And they are offering 1 gold per turn for 30 turns to do so. 30 gold is not a whole heck of a lot, but relations with the Ethiopians are fine. I don't see why not, for the time being anyway. I might regret that later, but sure, let's accept that offer for now. Unsurprisingly, the barbarians have retreated to their encampment. Let's heal up our scouts a little bit. Most unfortunately, the barbarians here have got not only brutes, but also archers, which means that our lone warrior is at a bit of a disadvantage here, so we're going to pull back and maybe explore some of this covered area, which probably isn't going to amount to much, but that's okay. The cultural elite of Ragusa yearn for something to dazzle them. They believe if Temple of Artemis, a Temple of Artemis, or the Temple of Artemis is built, it will lead to great enlightenment. So if I were to build the Temple of Artemis, Ragusa would be pleased, and I would gain some favor with them. Thebes is only 1 turn away from a granary, so next turn we'll look to see how many turns it would take to build the Temple of Artemis. And Antwerp is once again requesting assistance with barbarians, but we have no military units over that direction. The scouts can't really hold their own in combat, unfortunately. So, we get to adopt a new social policy. Sorry for that bump. We were working our way through the tradition tree, and we were looking at, I think, landed elite, which improves the rate of growth in the capital, which is really fantastic. Quite useful. So let's do that. And now that our granary is built, we get to consider our next building or unit. A settler would be wise, at least very soon. We could build a shrine, but choice here between, I would say, a settler, perhaps a caravan. We could establish a trade route with the Ethiopians, which would generate some income. We could build a second scout, or we have the Temple of Artemis, which improves growth rate in cities and faster ranged unit production, both of which are good bonuses and would also endear us to Ragusa over there. It's 21 turns to build, which is quite a long time, but why not? Let's do it. I think that's worth building. Let's see what we'd get from Ragusa if we were friends with them. So we'd receive whales, which is a luxury resource. It would improve the happiness of our civilization. And we would potentially get increased growth rate in the capital by receiving more food. Sure, let's do it. Temple of Artemis, here we come. And as the Egyptians, we actually receive a bonus to wonder production. So that's taking, I think, 20% fewer turns than it normally would, which is nice. And building this mine here, this quarry rather, I believe will increase production as well, which will speed up that process, that building process a little bit. Next turn. So there we have it, the edges of the continent. Looks like we have a small peninsula down here, but I don't think that's going to go too much further.
So teach us to number our days, so that we may.
And we've completed our calendar research, which is just perfect because our workers up here will be done in 2 more turns, it looks like, with the quarry, and then we can get them building plantations on these spices. Once we've got our second spice tile with a plantation, we can look at trading that excess resource with Ethiopia. Maybe they've got something we could benefit from. What to research next? Let's take a look at the tech tree. So we are on the sea, and sailing could be beneficial. Would let us build a workboat and harvest some of those oceanic resources. I'm not sure what we've got actually. Let's take a look. Nothing really, unfortunately. And weirdly, our Temple of Artemis looks like it's getting built out in the bay. It's half submerged. This is some kind of Atlantis thing going on. That's weird, but okay. But sailing also leads to allowing us to explore the oceans, find new land masses. It would be nice to have a trireme. Writing helps us with our science. Trapping allows us to harvest animal furs, but we don't have any of those nearby. The wheel lets us build roads and chariots. And bronze working is sort of military oriented. Let's do sailing. Why not? Get a trireme, start exploring the seas. Now, apparently, Malacca seeks investors. They're undertaking a large public works project. Each gold gift to them during this time will be more effective, rewarding 50% more influence. kingdoms and their mercantile city-state, which improves happiness. They could be a useful ally. It's pretty costly to buy city-state favor. We could afford 250 gold right now, which would give us 35 influence. I don't know if that includes the 50% bonus. It may or may not. And we need 60 to be allies, at which point we'll receive these resources. But we've got a bit of gold. We're not doing anything else with it. I mean, there's lots of things we could do with it, but sure, why not? Let's give them some gold, and we'll find out if this number includes that bonus. So it did include that 50% bonus. So we got up to the friends level. Oh, maybe that is sufficient. That may be sufficient to give us these resources. I don't know if we get the mercantile bonus, but it looks like we do have access to no, never mind, I lied. We've got happiness from marble, but we don't receive those resources from them yet. Well, once we get some more gold, maybe we'll give them another gift and bump that up to allies. That's right, so we didn't get the resources, but we did get the mercantile bonus. Once we're allies, then we'll get those resources. Anyway. So out pop some more barbarian archers here. But if we were to attack them, I think we would have a pretty good chance of beating them down. It says we won't quite destroy them, but what the heck, let's give it a go. This could end very poorly, because next turn they'll have a chance to shoot us, and then the barbarians in the encampment could attack if they wanted, though they don't really like to leave their encampment if they can avoid it. And it looks like we have some Ethiopian warriors that might be coming to engage as well, so our quarry is complete, and it's time to build a plantation on those spices. So there go those archers shooting at us. And for some strange reason that I'm not gathering, we can't build a plantation. Oh, right. That was very silly of me. Because the spices are in the jungle, we need to first chop down the jungle before we can build a plantation, but unfortunately, chopping down jungles requires a bronze working technology. So, instead, let's send these workers down here to build a pasture around these horses and gain that resource. And then once we've researched sailing, we can research bronze working, which will allow us to cut down that jungle. Back on the front lines here, the Ethiopians have abandoned us. The barbarians have decided to stay put, and these archers are about to get it. Now, I suspect these barbarians will sally forth and hit us next turn, but maybe not. Ethiopians might be coming back. People that like to smile the most, these are the happiest happiest civilizations in the world. An unmet player with 16 happiness. The Ethiopians here with 14. Us with 9, and another unmet player with 6. Our scouts have finally recovered from their encounter with the barbarians. I guess we can head north and see what we can find up there, though I don't think we're going to find much. And it looks like there are barbarians there too. So let's poke these barbarians, wear them down a little bit. So that went quite poorly for us. And we're going to have to fortify and heal up for a few turns, probably, before we can attack them again. Unfortunately, in that time, I expect they'll pop out another archer, but we'll just have to see. On the home front, though, things are coming along all right. 11 more turns to build the Temple of Artemis, and our workers are starting on a pasture. So it looks like the Ethiopians have in fact decided to come and aid in the fight against the barbarians. I don't think it's worth attacking these guys right now, so we're just going to fortify, heal up, and hopefully the Ethiopians can wear them down a bit, and then maybe we can swoop in for the kill and get the gold for looting the encampment. And we've got some roaming barbarian archers approaching our northern border, which I'm not too worried about. Our city should be able to take care of itself fairly effectively. And we are no longer friends with Malacca, so unfortunately we lose that happiness bonus. Because friendship with a city-state deteriorates slowly, turn by turn. Anyway, maybe we'll pay them off again. We'll see. Barbarians look like they've decided against approaching the city. Very wise of them. And in the south, the barbarians have once again spawned an archer. And apparently the Ethiopians have decided to bugger off again, which leaves us in a bit of a predicament, because those archers are going to shoot us. So let's just take a step back. They're still probably going to shoot us, but not much can be done. I really don't know what the Ethiopians are up to here. There we go.
He who commands the sea has commanded
Sailing has been researched, and we can now research bronze working so that we can finally chop those jungles. This is not a great position to be in. I'm hoping that the Ethiopians attack and destroy these archers next turn. The wise thing to do would be retreat, but I think I'm going to hang out on this hill and fortify, and hope that these Ethiopians do something interesting. I think we can survive one more turn here anyway. And the Ethiopians run away. Rats. That's basically the worst case scenario. I think we're going to lose our warriors here. Almost. And somehow our scouts managed to get tangled with some archers here. Archers, however, are very, very weak in close combat, so our scouts might actually be able to take them on. went pretty well. Next turn, we might even be able to take them out. Our poor warriors here are in a bad way, though. And somewhat tragically, the Ethiopians are blocking our escape route. They're not. If we could move here, then the archers wouldn't be able to shoot us, but as it stands, we can only run to here, and they're gonna shoot us next turn, which will probably kill our warriors. But there's nothing to be done for it at this point. Really, I should have retreated when I had the chance, because these Ethiopians are useless and apparently have no interest in actually engaging the barbarians. Or maybe they do. I don't know. They can't seem to make up their mind. Well, this is going to be a close thing. Oh, we get a unit promotion here. What have we got? We could heal instantly, which would be useful in this situation, but that feels like a bit of a waste. On a scout, I would rather take scouting 2, gain a little extra visibility range, and run away to fight another day. And miraculously, the archers decided to ignore our warriors. I don't know where they went, but it gives us the chance to limp away and heal up a little bit. So let's take that opportunity and leave the barbarians to the Ethiopians for the time being. So let's just step into our borders here and fortify to heal up, and then maybe we can go track down those archers and finish the job. I really don't know what these barbarians are trying to do. They're pretty damaged, but I'm in no position to fight them, so I'm just going to fortify and heal up, and hopefully the Ethiopians deal with them, which is something that they don't seem to intend on doing, but excellent. We've got our pasture built. Maybe we can build a farm here while we wait for bronze working to complete. And the barbarians look like they are intent on engaging our fortified warriors. I think we would win that battle right now if they were to attack. It would be very close, but I think we're safe to leave our warriors fortified. They will heal a little bit by next turn, and their fortification will give them a small combat bonus. I think the barbarians would be quite foolish to attack. So they appear to have no interest in attacking us, and they are instead going on a suicide mission against the Ethiopian capital. They are now outside of our ability to deal with because we can't enter the Ethiopian's borders without declaring war. So we will just let them get shot to death by the city. That works for me. As I said, very silly barbarians. Malacca is under attack. What is going on? Oh, bronze working. Excellent. So once our workers have finished building their farm here, we can finally get to work on harvesting those spices. Malacca is still getting hit by barbarians, but I don't have the resources to send anything over there right now. It was probably foolish to waste that gold on becoming friends with them, but oh well. a good wonder. Lets you get a free technology. Oh, and we found some iron nearby, which is fantastic. That will serve us very well as we move ahead. Lots of powerful military units require iron. I think, though, for now, I'm going to leave the game here. This has been a decent little play session. Not as long as the last one, but not too short either. I do hope you enjoyed it, and we'll probably play some more of it at some point in the future. I don't know if we'll ever finish it, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this second episode of our Civilization 5 playthrough. And I look forward to having you here next time.